Hey everyone, I'm back with a haul. So I got some things in the mail today, and I'm also doing something else, and I'll talk about that after I show you what I purchased. So I've got some wood stamps and some photopolymer stamps and dies. So let's get to it. Okay, so first with the, let's show the wood stamps first. I believe these were all purchases from eBay. This one was a penny black purchase. Handful of bunnies, 1399L from 1999. She's a big one. Look at all the cute little bunnies. And then this bunny as well. This one's an Imaginations, I believe. Yes, doesn't have a year or a name. But there she is. She's also pretty good size. And then I got some Diana Markham stamps. Now, these are both recent purchases that I got. So there's these two. This one says mistletoe. He's a cute little bear. And then I also got these two, and I'm going to show you some additional ones that are kind of very similar. So there's this jar. Well, I didn't even tell you the names, huh? Sorry. Cubby Frame, 1998, F4252. This is a Diana Markham from Stamp Passions. And then the mistletoe one is 2000, G4372, Mistletoe Square. So those two, and then this jar is Canning Jar Label, 2000 E4355. And then this little jar, which is kind of a cute little round chubby one, is Jammin' Jar 2000 D4353. Now this is in addition to two other jars that I had as well already in my stash, and that's these two right here that I had purchased some time ago. So this one is Canning Jar 1999 F4315, and so this is the tallest one of the jars that I have. Well, empty jars, because I do have some recipe stamps that are bigger than this one. And then this one right here, which is Padded Top Jar 2000 D4354. So really cute. It also has the twine or whatever around the neck of the bottle. So really cute. Okay, so those are the Diana Markham ones that I have to share that I recently purchased. Well, some of those were not recent, but I wanted to show you the jar collection in case you haven't seen them before. And then I received an order from Jaded Blossom. They had a release earlier this week. I can't remember what day it was. This was the freebie, which I'm glad I got because I can do a lot with this stamp, especially with the crate that I have. I actually have several different crates, but there's one I have that would fit this stamp really well, and this one could go even on a sign, which I do have, and also maybe a jar. I have a really good sized jar as well, and also the crates there. I think there's a larger crate that I have that this would fit on well too. So anyway, really cute stamp. Farm Sweet Farm. I think this was the freebie. So I think it's also available for purchase, but don't quote me on that. I got this farm scene die from the new release, because why not? Chickens. And it's got a bale of hay, which I do have as well from Paper Tray, but theirs is a little bit different as well. So it's always nice to have different things. And then the glasses. I don't know if this was a new one. I think I just saw it and I thought, oh, well, you know, I've got giant gingerbread. Why not get them giant glasses? So I did. And also this would probably go well with the Peachy Keen stamps that were released. stamps for some of the face stamps, because there are some large ones, right? So I thought maybe I could use them for those too. I know, kind of corny, but that's what you got. And then these are, I think she just received these back in stock. These are older items that I went ahead and purchased, because I don't think I purchased them when they came out. So I went ahead and picked them up. I don't normally buy the matching dies for the stamps all the time. And I was thinking to go ahead and pick them up. So this is the one that matches the stamp set released last year, I believe. Baking Spirits Bright. And it's just the outline. I in particular like, I don't like the outline, the white outline around my stamps. I like them right on that line, and so that's why I like to use my scan and cut, because I'm very particular about that. There are situations where I like the outline, and then there are situations where I don't like them. And I think it's more when you have a solid drawing versus where you might have something that has, like, you know, some extra cuts in it, or not extra cuts, but extra illustrations. Let me give you an example, because I have one here that I was stamping in. This is actually what I'm doing. Here it is. I don't have the stamp on my desk, but this image right here, this is two images together, by the way. This is the Snow Ice Cream from Diana Markham, and it's just this little rectangle, and then this snowman I stamped on top, and I'm going to show you what I've been doing, so I'll go into that later. But you can see in this illustration, she has put little X's in between the stitches, and that is a case where I'd want my scan and cut to cut the little white extra outline around it. You know, I wouldn't want it right on that line, because I want to include the kind of little white space buffer. So that's you know, for me, that's what I like. Obviously, that's not what everybody has to like, so I just wanted you to know that's the reason why I don't always purchase the dies. So I got this one as well. This one is for Gingerbread Baking Company outline dies. So again, there's another stamp set out there that has the gingerbread holding hands, and then you've got like 3 sizes of candies or peppermints, and then this last one is a stamp called Gingerbread Candies. Now I don't, for some reason I don't think I have this, but I may. Oh, and she revamps them too, so I may have the older version and she'll change it up a little bit. But if I didn't have it, I thought, well, I'm ordering, let me go ahead and pick it up. And I know I can pass it on if I do have a double. Or if it's significantly different than what I already have, then I'll just keep it, obviously. These two gingerbread are kind of weird looking to me. But this one looks fine, so I don't know. Nice sentiments in here, though. Gingerbread poop. It's great. So anyway, that's my Jaded Blossom haul. And that's what I purchased from online. So what am I doing? I'm actually stamping images for recipe stamps, or stamps that I want to color up in the coming couple of months. I don't know when I'll get to them all, but these are for the recipe book. So I thought I'd go ahead and stamp some out because I wasn't feeling very creative today. So I knew that get this out of the way and then I can just color. So I've been combining some of the stamps together, or stamping some of the images and combining some together to make them for my recipe book. And because some of these images are not so small, but they're smaller in size because they're sized for a card front, my book has larger pages in it, and I want to, you know, make the images a little bit larger to fit the book. So that's what I've been doing. So as I said, I've got a couple of images where I've combined images together in a stamp, and I can show you that as well. So, and how I did it. So this one, as I said, this is the Snow Ice Cream stamp, which is not sitting on my desk anymore. And this little snowman here, and this is a image that Diana did before she was with Stamp Passions. So it comes from Love You to Bits. That's the manufacturer, and I don't know if I don't think they're still in business, but it's from 1996. So here's the stamp that I have. And yeah, so I combined this one with the snow ice cream just to make it a little bit of a larger image, and I think they kind of go together. And I used my, this is some masking paper from Judikins, and it's in a roll, so that's why it's kind of curled up like this, but this whole thing is sticky. It's like a post-it note, but it's sticky all over. And I used the straight edge on this side. I actually wrote on which side was straight because I didn't want to, you know, not remember. So I stamped using that side a couple of times for these images, and then I stamped it for this one, which I haven't yet stamped out, and so I'll show you that because I had to cut this one out. This one is not a straight edge on how I'm going to combine two stamps, so I had to cut that out. And so rather than take the time to show you cutting, you know, around an image, I cut it before I started the video, and I'm just going to clip it away. Okay, so this is my mask that I want. So I got double duty or triple duty out of that. So this is two images together. This is two images together. So this is the pumpkin muffins recipe stamp and a stack of pumpkins. So I don't have that recipe stamp on my desk, but you can see what it is. It's just a big square, like it looks like a quilt square. And it's a pumpkin muffins recipe, so I thought I'd include these pumpkins together. And the trick for this is the stamp that you want to be in the front of everything is the stamp you stamp first. Okay? And that's the stamp you're going to mask. So you would put, I use the straight edge of the mask on this side of the image, and then I stamp the pumpkins. And this pumpkin stamp is called Pumpkin Stack from 2001, and it's F4410, and I know this one came from Diana because she's been selling her stamps on eBay. So this one was new when I purchased it, and in great condition. So I put the stack of pumpkins to the right, and I know it's hanging off the edge of the paper. It's fine. It makes the image a lot larger, and the focal point isn't just the, well, it's supposed to be the pumpkin muffins, but obviously I've added this stack of pumpkins to make the image just a little bit larger and to put it in my recipe book. So I'll be coloring this up in the coming months, hopefully before the fall. And yeah, so that's another one. Here is the hot chocolate mix, and I actually have that one sitting on my desk. That's this one right here. This one is hot chocolate mix F4371 from 2000. And it's also another snowman that she did. Now this one is from Stamp Passions. I know this one came from Diana as well. I mean, she was selling them herself. F4228, the snowman with a heart. So his body, you can see his body is got buttons down it. You can't see that because I put him behind the recipe, right? So I used that straight edge again of my masking paper on top to hide this part of the stamp, and then I stamped the top of the snowman above him, above the recipe. So now I have the snowman who is appearing to pop up behind the hot chocolate mix, and it makes the image bigger, you know, taller basically. So when I put it in my recipe book, it's not just this little tiny stamp in the middle of a page. And then I'll die cut out the image itself. So again, this is one that will probably have a white outline around it because of the way it's designed. I might just use a frame die to cut this one, because it'll be a lot easier to do that. So anyway, that's two images. And then the last one, which I haven't done yet, is this pumpkin spice recipe. I'm going to put it in my book. This is E4412, a little spice. And I've set it up in my stamp platform. This is one specifically for wood stamps. This is not for the photopolymer or cling stamps. This is for wood stamps because it's got this huge acrylic L right here on a hinge. Now, when did this come out? I don't know. It doesn't have a year on it. I bought this off of eBay. I have a feeling this came out before that other tool did, but I'm not going to go into that right now because I want to show you this to you. So here's what I do. All right, so I turn the stamp upside down, which makes it backwards, obviously, but I can see the stamp now. And I position it on my paper where I want it to be, knowing that I'm going to have another image stamped with this. So I kind of position it knowing I'm going to have another stamp kind of off to the side. So I'm going to use this leaf stamp that I got from Diana as well, and this one is Trio of Leaves and Acorns D4300. Actually, I don't know if this one came from her because I have this twice. I have more than one of these. So I'm not sure if I actually purchased this from her or from another seller. This one is from 1999, D4300. So you can see it's a very fall stamp, and so is the recipe. So I wanted to put something else in the image other than this little tiny stamp, because obviously this inside my book is really, really small, and I want something that's going to cover a little bit more real estate. So I'm going to actually put this other leaf stamp in my stamped image, but I'm going to turn it a little bit, and I'm going to need to do a mask, and that's where this comes in. Okay, so as I said before, the thing that the image that you want in front, that is the forefront of your stamped image, is the stamp you're going to stamp first, and you're going to mask it. So that's what I have cut the mask out for. So I haven't stamped it yet. What this tool lets you do is, if you get too light of an image, you can re-ink your stamp and put it in the exact same spot, just like the other tools do for your cling stamps. So we're going to do that. And I'm using Memento ink for this because I want to color these with my Copics. And the paper that I'm using is also Copic friendly. It's the Hammermill 100-pound paper. And boy, was that hard to find. I wanted to stock up because I was afraid that I was going to run out. And so here's me stamping this pumpkin spice recipe, which is nothing but spices. But you know, I mean, it's good to have it, and it's going to be cute in my book. It's got to be cute, right? Okay, so I'm just pressing down on it, doing that CPR thing that you do. Okay, it's okay. I'm not gonna re-ink the stamp. It's just some of the ink didn't transfer right there, and like I said, to use this tool, you just push the stamp right back up into that corner right here. I've got mine turned, but that's just because of the way I have my paper oriented, because it's hanging off the edge of the platform. Okay, just to give it a little bit more time to transfer that ink. Okay, so there you go. I'm okay with that. Some people would probably re-ink their stamp again, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to reach over and clean my stamp. Doing that does two things. Obviously, it cleans the ink off of it, but it also conditions the stamp for the next use. So your rubber stays nice and conditioned. Okay, it's not a must-have or must-do, but you know. Okay, so this is ready for me to position it again for the next stamp. But first, I'm going to put my mask on top, line it up where the stamped image is, and you'll notice that I only cut out this side right here, and that's because this stamped image is not going to reach the other side, so I didn't worry about cutting the rest of the, because that's just a waste of my time, right? So here we go. I've got tape to hold the paper down. So what I do is I close the lid, and then I figure out where I want this stamp to kind of be situated. And I said I was going to turn it. So let me move this out of the way a little bit and figure out how I want this to be, because I kind of want the leaves to be kind of peeking over the top a little bit and not just hanging out. Okay, that looks weird, right? But all you got to do then is position your paper, right? So that this butts into the corner and you'll have it in the right position for you to stamp. So I'm taking pains to not move the stamp itself, but move the paper underneath it so it's in the right position, right? So now I just tape my paper down, and I can open this up, tape the paper down, and you can use a sticky note for this. I can't find my larger sticky notes because I have some really big ones, but I can't find them. So the masking paper is in my drawer all the time, and so that's what I use. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. Hopefully it doesn't look weird. I feel like it's still floating a little bit because the stem here is not reaching the bottom. So I'm going to reposition it. Sorry. You're probably like, what? It's all right. It'll be all right. This will be a long video, but it'll be all right. Because I kind of want that to be, you know, it's going to help ground the image a little bit better too. Okay. So now I have it in a wholly different position. So when I close the lid, again, I want to move the paper. See, the stamp is just sliding around there on up into the corner so that the when I close the lid here, the stamp, if I hold it down, I can just butt it into that corner. So now I have it, I think, in a better position. Okay. All right, so I'm going to ink up, and we're going to hope that I do this the way I wanted it. If not, it's not the end of the world. Get another piece of paper out, stamp it again. You can use your mask over and over again. It's not like you have to throw it out. So as long as it stays sticky, it doesn't matter. So I'm giving it a good press. Okay. I'm just looking along the edge of the container here. It looks okay. See that edge right there? Because the paper is so thin, it's fine for the ink transfer. And I think if I just press down a little bit around, as long as I put my stamp in the same place, I want to press right here because this is along the line of that container where the image is a little bit, it's not as crisp as I'd like it. Okay, so that's good. So now the moment of truth, when I take the mask off, does it look fine? See, you can, like I said, you can use this mask over and over again. It's not going to affect it at any, you know, in any way. And so now the acorns and the leaves are behind the pumpkin spice container. And so this image is a little bit larger now, and I can, you know, I can color it up. I can die cut this out, which is what I'll probably do. In this case, I'll probably use a frame, a shaped frame or something like that to cut the image out after I've, maybe before I've colored it. I like to do that before because I don't like to spend time coloring and then screw it up with die cutting. Sometimes your die cutting can go haywire. So I'll probably die cut this first and then go ahead and color it up. But you can kind of see, if you look closely, because of the mask, and I know my shadowing is kind of messing it up, because of the mask here, it didn't allow the leaf to stamp onto this image, and so the leaf appears behind the canister. And there's actually a third acorn over to the left that didn't get stamped. Right? So that's how you do that. Now, if you wanted more leaves up the top here, you could certainly leave that mask on, make a mask for the leaves, cut it out, and then stamp it up here so you can get more leaves in the image. But I'm not going to even bother doing that. Okay, that's how you do some creative masking so you can get your, images the way you want them. I'm going to do that for some other stamped recipe stamps that I have. I'm not going to share those with you right now. I'll share those whenever they get colored up, and then they'll go in my book, and then I'll share them, as part of the recipe book series. Oh, and let me mention too, if you've made it this far, I have a playlist on my channel now, and it's on the front homepage of my channel. It's all the way at the bottom of the channel for the Dinah Markham recipe book. So all of the stamps that I color up and put in the book, or building all the pages for the book, all of those videos are going to be in that playlist. So just check it out. You can also do a Google search for that hashtag, because they're all under that hashtag. If you do a Google search, you should be able to see everybody's posts that have been going for that hashtag too. So I'm actually going to keep this mask. I'm going to stick it right here so I don't lose it. And I'm going to cut this off because it's hanging off the end. Like that. And there we go. So now I have a holding place for it. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. And oh, by the way, I do have Copic multi-liner and a micron pen. If you ever have problems with some lines not connecting and you need to draw them in, obviously the multi-liner is Copic friendly. It's pigment ink. And I have a 0.3 pen because the lines are rather fine with a red rubber stamp. So I like to have those handy as well. So anyway, that's it for now, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!